Hi, this is Null Inquisitor. Last night we had our weekly Paragons game and I did something special. I broke I broke the rule. You know, that one rule that we're not supposed to break, that one truism, that one canon that every game master should never break. The never split the party rule. I broke the shit out of this rule last night. Let me recap quickly. Last week, in our game, our four heroes got separated in the most organic way. Our immortal Perseus was appeared in the Atlantic Ocean, at the bottom of the sea, nearby the Titanic. We had our genius kid, battlesuit user, Dynamics. He just returned home to work on in his workshop. The leader of the team, Hardman, just returned to see his psychiatrist, his cognitive therapist, for some more introspection because of the events that happened in Jacksonville. Some really crazy shit. And the other one, the youngest and the newest member of the team, just wanted to return home and brood in his apartment. So the four characters were like thousands of kilometers apart, or miles for you Americans. And preparing my game for this week, for last night, I decided early on that because of the genre we're using, the supers meet real world, or I don't know. It's not even superhero. It's like more paranormals in the real world. Some have costume, but they're really rare. So I decided, because of the genre, no, I want the story to be focused on each and every one of these characters, and I don't want to do an X-Men things with a mission and reunite them together. So I decided voluntarily to break the rule. I decided early on, all right, I'm gonna break the rule. And you know what? Sometimes at the end of the game, some GM will ask their player, "What did you think of the game?" And most of the times, players will not want to displease anybody, so everybody will say, "Yeah, the game was great." At the end of the game, based on the comment that spontaneously appeared at the table, my players told me that this game was the best we did in this campaign so far. I was like semi prepared for this game. I had bullet points like most of the time, but I didn't have much time to prep, and I was ready to go wherever they wanted to go. But I was like semi prepared in the sense that I knew that I had a strong beginning for the story, but not so much a ending for the story. So I decided to write this game like 4 mini stories. and I decided to just split the party. And when I do that, I automatically have the problem. I have 4 players, 4 stories, and if I concentrate on one, the other players will have to wait their turn at the table, and that's not just the way I do things. So I came up with these poker chips. I gave them to my players to represent the hero points in Mutants and Mastermind. So I decided to pick different color this time. So these were the normal hero points I've given, or I give usually. And then I gave every one of my player a red one. The red one I've decided was Game Master's hero points. When we focus the story on one of the players, I instructed my players, you see, you're gonna be here waiting for your turns, but you're going to be participating in the story. I'm allowing you to play NPCs. I'm allowing you to spend one of these hero points to create complication for the character in play. So my players really understand the limits of the campaign, the genre, everything. So I didn't have much explaining to do, and since I know them very well, I knew they would roll with it very fine. So I gave them a red one, and we started. And something very fun, very creative happened at the table. A real collaborative storytelling experience. They began to mess with each other. They began to play NPCs. I had names on my sheet with some just background characters, and my player just jumped on them and started to play them. So our immortal Perseus awoke in a fishing boat in the Atlantic Ocean, and the player started to play the crew, the deckhand of the ship. I was playing the captain, but there was these 4 other deckhands participating in the stories. The leader of the team, Hardman, was involved in a aerial pursuit with 2 flying character, and he was like the passenger of one of the participant. He was teleported back in Sri Lanka, where there is this island with the Pantheon member and their own cult. So the other players played other Pantheon members, like unnamed characters. I just randomly rolled superhero names with a random name generator, and I described some NPCs I kept for myself, but then I let them describe their NPCs and what was their power. So they even got to use their power in front of my other players, and they were using these red hero points that normally I would do. They were giving them to the player. They were complicated their life. They were giving these to the players in play, to the character in play. You know what I mean. So it was really a creative session. I did not ask if my player enjoyed the game. I just did what I do usually at the end of the game. I'm just concentrating on objective stuff, like what do you think went right, or could we have done this in another way or better? And what I've received was, this game was the best so far. So that tell me something happened in for it's crazy, because from my perspective the game was pretty good but not super good, but my players were jumping on their seats, and they were really into it, and they just confessed to me, yes, this was the greatest game we had so far. So I have to take note, I have to do a video, I have to analyze this stuff. But that's what I was expecting in the game. That was the emergence I was expecting, and I had it. And I can only say that experience led me there. I knew, because of my players, of my game, and the style we play, I knew it would work. I did not knew it would work so good, but it did. So I am, and I would like to add this: don't split the party rule. It's mainly coming from D&D, Pathfinder, and those kind of game, where you absolutely need a cleric to heal people. You need a blaster, a mage, to throw stuff at distance, and you need a tank to soak up damage. And it's like, without this perfect team, we often hear sentence like, oh, we don't have a complete group. We lack a healer, or a tank, or a scraper. You see, these roles are really defined by this kind of game. These you don't have to translate in another system. When you're playing superheroes or a generic system, you don't have to have these predefined role in your team. You can then split the party, but you have to be prepared to face the consequence of that, and the consequence is that your other player will get bored. You have to give them something to do, and giving them NPCs and some control over the stories, the story you're telling, is a great way to engage them, even if it's not their turn. I could not have this great game if my player were bored, and they were not. They were participating in our game. So I cannot say this was my first time doing this. I just wanted to make an example, and to maybe just explain, give a recent example of this. So I encourage you to do the same. Break the rule, because personally I will definitely split the party again. Thank you. Thanks for watching.